An absorbing fresco, plunging viewers into a teeming world of explosive colour, writhing forms and irrepressible life. Nabil Nahas is presenting a monumental painting at this year's Venice Biennale as he represents Lebanon at the international art event at a particularly turbulent time for his country. Nabil, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, as I said, Lebanon finds itself in the middle of a war in the Middle East. How does it feel looking at the situation there now?
Well, it doesn't look very good to me, although I'm generally very optimistic. And it happens that Lebanon is caught in a war that is not its war between Iran and Israel. And we're suffering the consequences. And they're devastating on a humanitarian level.
Indeed. And back to your art, briefly. The piece that you're presenting in Venice is entitled Don't Get Me Wrong. I was intrigued by that title because it suggests we might misunderstand you. What does it mean?
It means a lot and it means nothing, you know. But what I'm presenting in Venice it's very complex and it might seem contradictory, and people are gonna read it the way they want, and that's what I want.
And as I said, it's immense. It's 45 meters long, 26 painted panels, almost like chapters. I believe the piece will be displayed quite high up, higher than a usual painting.
Yes, yes.
Why that choice?
I like that idea of presenting it like it would be in a church or in a Venetian palace, or you know. And the reason why we did that was, for one thing, I didn't want half the paintings obliterated by people, you know,
standing in front
of the pictures. Yeah. If I wanted people, I would have painted people. But and also there were technical issues like doorways and what have you not. The two architects that worked on the scenography were Charles Ketani and Nicolas Fayad, came up with that idea of why don't we raise the whole thing, which I love the idea.
Raising our eyes.
Tried it in my studio. We raised the paintings and they look actually quite good.
It could give a quite spiritual, religious experience, I guess. Indeed, let's get a reminder of some of Nabil's past work. A great tradition in art history of narrative frescoes. Yours is not necessarily narrative, but you've got the Parthenon frieze, Greco-Roman architecture. Lebanon is dotted with treasures from those civilisations. Phoenicians, Egyptians. Was that something you had in mind when making this piece?
I didn't have it in mind exactly when I was making the piece, but since childhood, since I'm 12 years old, I'm very, very interested in archaeology and antiquity, and I would spend a lot of time. Actually, every Saturday, I would go to Byblos with a friend of mine. We were 12, 13 years old, and that lasted for several years. And it has certainly influenced me, and I always liked the relationship through an object that is 3,000 years old, not the object itself, but the relation between the person who created that thing, who made that ceramic, and me. And it's that time span that fascinates me.
Indeed, and that town you mentioned, Byblos, it does sum up to a certain extent the layered history of Lebanon. It's now the focus of a new exhibition at the Arab World Institute in Paris. The show takes us through the cultural, religious and geographical influence that have shaped the port town. Yet at a time when the conflict in the Middle East has put heritage at peril, the very transport of some of those artefacts has been quite a challenge. Luc Schrago and David Gilberg have this report.
Sailors once left these stone anchors on dry land to ask their gods for protection or to thank them for sparing their lives. millennia-old treasures that show that the city of Byblos, founded around 9,000 years ago, was before anything else a leading seaport of the ancient world and a gateway onto the era's different cultures and influences.
It was an open door to the Mediterranean with its own diverse territory inland. It was open to connection, though sometimes to wars and destruction too, since that's the history of cities like this. But they've always been examples of human creativity.
About 40 kilometers north of modern-day Beirut, Byblos operated as a city-state from the Bronze Age, absorbing cultures linked to the region's dominant historical powers. From Byblos's Egyptian rulers, whose influence is clear throughout the exhibition, to the Phoenicians, who turned the city into a hub for exporting cedarwood, or the Greeks and the Romans, all left threads in a tapestry that archaeologists rediscovered 160 years ago.
Byblos tells us that anyone who measures Lebanon on the basis of its geographical size is making a mistake. Lebanon is a bridge that connects the dawn of humanity to its foundations. But what are those foundations today? We celebrate Byblos and Lebanon suffers.
The exhibition itself resonates to the beat of war. Israel's airstrikes on Hezbollah in autumn 2024 saw preparations interrupted the first time. The exhibition went forward the next year, but new hostilities in recent weeks again set back plans. Rather than risk damage during transport from Lebanon, the Arab World Institute chose to leave some 400 works behind.
Ce qui m'a le plus marqué, c'est l'absence d'œuvres aujourd'hui dans cette
What I
exposition.
noticed was the absence of works in the exhibition that shed light on the current conflict in the Middle East. And that might raise awareness among us Westerners of the importance of protecting our shared Mediterranean heritage.
L'unité méditerranéenne fait partie de notre histoire.
The exhibition demonstrates the context of the constant invasions that humanity has experienced and reminds us that power struggles are, unfortunately, nothing new.
In the wake of its Treasures Saved from Gaza exhibition, the Arab World Institute continues with Byblos to protect the Middle East's cultural heritage, ever at risk.
Nabil, as that report points out, not only communities but also cultural heritage has been destroyed in recent months in Lebanon, but also Gaza and Iran. This week, UNESCO placed 39 cultural properties in Lebanon under enhanced protection. Do you think enough is being done to protect that heritage?
No, I don't think enough has been done to protect the heritage. I mean, if nothing but wars and bombing and has been pretty devastating. I mean, Sidon was hit not long ago. You know, the bombs fell very, very close to the temple of Baalbek. I mean, we're talking about a few hundred feet. The Palmyra Hotel was damaged. Yeah, it's really across the street. So that is unfortunately very distressing.
And as someone participating in the Biennale this year, it's a very international event and sometimes a political one. Some artists and curators participating have signed an open letter protesting against Israel's inclusion at the event, which was criticised by others. Do you think the Biennale should serve as a political platform?
I don't think the Biennale should be a political platform. I think it's really unfortunate that they try to turn it into that. I think it's a platform that should be neutral, that allows artists from different nationalities to exhibit their work. Up to them if they want to make a political statement or not make a political statement. But I think it's an opportunity, and the only one we have, to have a global exhibition showing all the different geographies of the world and what they represent.
And celebrating the unifying power, I guess, of art as well.
I think so, yeah.
Nabil, thank you so much.
I think that's very unfortunate that they did that, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll wrap up the show with an alternative view on that port town, Byblos, a new documentary which reveals the extraordinary discovery of an underground necropolis on the Mediterranean coast. That film's on the Arte channel and on its website. We'll leave you with a preview. Otherwise, see you next time here on Arts 24.